Good evening. Hello and welcome. Welcome everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Order in the court, Judge White. I've wanted to do that for 20 years now.
Wow, what a great man you are.
Judge, I said, order in the court. I've been wanting to do that for 20 years. No, thank you all for coming this evening. Our August meeting, August 15th, 2024, the McKinney chapter of the SAR. If you please all stand and join me now. First, we'll have our invitation call and
Oh God, we ask your blessing upon the sons of the American Revolution. Use this fraternity, we pray, to open our eyes to your glory and to the opportunities that lie before us to serve thee and our country. Grant that the leaders of this fraternity may be both wise and daring. Stir up within us the will to share joyfully in the work of our society. In thy holy name we pray. Amen. Amen.
if you please join me in the pledge, United States flag. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And the pledge to the Texas flag, which will be led by Peter Ford.
Yes, sir. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Elijah Reedy will lead us in the SAR pledge.
Of course.
We, the descendants of the heroes of the American Revolution, who died for sacrifices, established the United States of America, reaffirm our faith in the principles of liberty and our constitutional republic, and solemnly pledge ourselves to defend them against every foe.
And Bill Taylor will lead us in our mission statement.
American Revolution honors our Revolutionary War patriot ancestors by promoting patriotism, serving our communities, educating and inspiring future generations about the founding principles of our country.
Please be seated. At this time, we will have our self-introductions.
Well, Andreessen, I'm a member of the McKinney chapter.
Jerry Lucas, I'm the wannabe.
Just Dave, working on my application now.
Yeah.
Member of the chapter. Larry Moore, Dallas chapter and McKinney chapter.
Lloyd Bradley, McKinney chapter, my wife's Joy, McKinney chapter also.
Good evening, I'm Pete McClellan. I live in McKinney and I'm the CAR liaison for the chapter.
Bernard Long, McKinney chapter.
Bill Hurst with my wife Ruth Ann. I'm a member of the Texas Society, the Virginia Society, and the Arkansas Society, and a charter member here.
I'm Joe Chenoweth, I live in Allen, I'm a member of the McKinney chapter.
I'm John Green, I live on Lake Coffee, shoot hot fish. I'm a member of the Dallas chapter and all in McKinney.
It's got too hard to fish, it needs to be like goodness.
Nathan White, my wife Wanda, McKinney chapter.
Milton McKinney chapter.
I'm John Anderson here with my wife Meg, and I'm from the Arlington chapter, the Fort Worth chapter. Glad to be here visiting you guys tonight.
Ruby Secretary. On Zoom, we have Al Lisi and Tom Foster.
Hi, I'm Peter Ford, the treasurer of the McKinney chapter.
Kevin Dennis with the McKinney and Plano chapters.
Rich Bonaparte, McKinney registrar, and my wife Lynn.
I'm Jim Akers, I'm a member of the Denton chapter, the Dallas chapter, the McKinney chapter. This is my wife Sandy. Good job.
Tom Wentz, the Dallas chapter, McKinney chapter, Elizabethtown, New Jersey chapter, Monmouth County, New Jersey chapter. It's kind of like, hey, what to do.
I'm Ted Wilson, Devon Farrell chapter, and you're a member of McKinney.
Matt and Ned Hoover were members of the McKinney chapter, and this is Ned's anniversary.
Yes, it is.
Thank you so much. In your handout is a little paper that you can fill out if you're visiting us, some information we'd like to get from you. I know last month, I know Justin, you were here last month. I don't know if you filled one out, but anyone visiting would love to have that. And thank you all for coming this evening. All right, so hopefully this evening we'll learn a lot more about the SAR and Tom at this time.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
I got this one on. I don't know whether I turn this, we'll do it from in here.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much. Looks like we had a good turnout tonight. Let's see, John, we were gonna go ahead and, you wanna do the video first, we decide? Okay, why don't we start, can we just start that and then I'll introduce you after the video, if that would work.
Okay.
All right.
This work? Okay, the plan was to, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
The plan was to start off tonight with a video from, a short video from the recent Congress up in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Oh,
The
what? Can you lift the mic? There's a mic on.
Oh,
Everybody hands up.
here. Oh, wait, they just lost here a little bit. There you go.
Okay,
Yeah, you just have to probably get a little.
the National Congress was up in, can you hear me now? The National Congress was up in, turn it up louder.
Yeah, I think a little louder would be good.
Right now.
Okay, how's that?
That's
All
better.
right, I saw you some thumbs up back there. All right, National Congress was in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and I think Nathan attended. And there was a video created to kind of show folks about what goes on within National Congress, kind of introduce you to some of the people. And there's some Texas people, kind of a bio kind of introduced throughout the video. And so some of you may recognize some faces. So we're gonna crank this up. Let's see here. How do we make this turn on?
Oh. You turn off on.
And there is audio to this.
Yeah.
So will the audio
Yeah.
pipe through my computer up through to that?
It should.
Is it on?
It's blinking there.
All I gotta do is.
Start it.
We don't see anything on the screen.
It's not there yet. Hold on. Oh, here it comes.
Start over from the beginning.
And
At the conclusion of this, I'm hoping Nathan can elaborate.
Member of the North Carolina Society. I'm the
Historian General, past National Color Guard Commander. This being my ninth Congress. First Congress I attended was Kansas City in 2015. The best thing about coming to Congress is seeing all your friends. So it's getting back in touch with the guys you came up in the organization with. You know, Congress is when the leaders, you get to interface directly with the leaders of the organization. As a chapter guy in your local hometown, the SAR chapter is what you know, it's where you live, it's what you you know, you do your monthly meetings, and you may attend a state meeting occasionally, but the directives, the policies, the procedures, the goals and objectives of the national organization are established here at Congress.
This is probably my 10th Congress to attend to, and everyone is different and fun. For annual Congress, there are really 3 different parts to it. One are friends. I have made friends all over the country, and generally I only get to see them when I come here. But as soon as we see each other, it's like, hello, lost friend. It is great to see you again. Secondly, I love history. I love our country. And every Congress, I learn something new about our country and about history as well. And then third, we actually have business to do, right? And so we do that business here at Congress. And the reason why you come here is this is where you learn about what we do at the national level. But you also find out how you can be of service to our organization, but more importantly, to be of service to our country.
My name is Roger Williams. I am the president of the Princeton chapter in New Jersey. The camaraderie is better than just, it's a wonderful time to keep up with good friends who all are moving our mission forward. I mean, that's what I really enjoy. Being active on committees, and we do a lot of committee work at leadership, but coming to Congress is on a much different level. And getting an opportunity to meet all of the national officers as we induct the new administrations, you really get a sense of how our mission is moving forward. And I think that that's important for anyone who believes in what we're doing. I think it's important for any citizen to step up and honor our past, educate our youth, and I am absolutely committed to teaching our founding ideals. I mean, we were founded on the ideals of the Age of Enlightenment, and I think it's important that that's something that we teach our children.
I look at Congress as being almost like an SAR family reunion. It's an opportunity for me to come and see all the people, all the acquaintances that I've made friends with over the past 5 years that I've been in the SAR, the fellowship, but also the opportunity to come and take care of business and work on the directives of the SAR. That's probably one of the most important things that we can do, not only for the business side of the SAR, but for the social side of the aspects of the SAR. Just in the past day, we've made decisions on bylaws, we made decisions on funding, and we had the opportunity to vote on contested elections for national officers. But at the same time, I get to hang out and socialize with not only members of my state society, but societies that are nearby, where I've made friends, and the people that I've made contacts through leadership and Facebook and things like that. I get to spend time with them and reconnect, and it's just a wonderful time. Experiencing the host cities. Last year was Orlando, and there were things to do here. We were in Lancaster this year. Lots of things to do. There's all all types of tours that are usually tied before and after Congress that you have the opportunity to go to. Lunch times, or you're on your own, you have the ability to go out and socialize with people and see the area and experience some really amazing food. A few of the dinners are on your own, and you have a chance to do the exact same thing. And then once you're done at night, I mean, you have the ability to go out and just explore and be with friends.
The very first one that I went to, which was at Greenville, South Carolina, I basically knew almost nothing about the inner workings of the SAR, just attended the Congress meeting, sat through some of the business sessions, learned a lot, learned to meet a lot of the individuals, socialized with them. And that really spurred my involvement in the Color Guard and continued the activities. Outside of that, it is really the memorial service, taking the Color Guard over to the church, presenting all the state flags, all the national flags, and the memorial service, paying honor to those that have passed away for this past year.
I enjoy being of service to the community and to my country.
If you don't understand the founding documents, if you've never read the Constitution or the Bill of Rights, those are the things the SAR preaches. Those are the things we celebrate and educate children and train our own membership on our founding and the principles of American democracy and our forms of government.
I can't think of a time in recent history that our organizations have a greater impact on society. We look at how much history is being taught in schools, how many things are happening in our communities where history is being maybe erased or moved to the side, and the SAR is one of the best organizations to bring that history service to the forefront. It's a wonderful mission.
No, what y'all think about that? Well, I believe they're making a pitch for our 2029 to bring the Congress to here to Texas. San Antonio would be a fabulous place to have it with all the stuff they've got down there. And it's not definite yet. So we will see what happens. Judge White, would you like to share a few comments of your experiences?
Thank you. Well, one that I attended this Congress, but I attended my first Congress in 1996 in San Antonio. So this would have been my 29th Congress. We had a couple of Congresses, one by, well, I guess they were by Zoom during COVID time. So we didn't actually attend 29 Congresses away, but certainly the San Antonio Congress, the Dallas Congress in 2005, and then the Houston Congress several years ago. But I think that if you would try to schedule a vacation around Congress, you would find it was very worthwhile. Next year, it's going to be in Connecticut, New London, Connecticut, and the following year in New Orleans. So 2026, I guess it will be in New Orleans, and that's a whole lot closer than Connecticut. But we really, I thought I knew a little bit about the American Revolution and the Continental Congress and so forth, but I will tell you that we learned quite a bit. Lancaster was actually the national capital for a day, and the adjoining county, York, thank you,
Congress for several weeks, several months. When they were trying to get out of Philadelphia and be concerned about the British taking over our capital, which was located in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia. Juan and I also went to the Museum of the American Revolution in Philadelphia, which I think is a tribute to what you can do when money is no object. They raised $150 million for this a project up there, and it was fantastic. It's not, unfortunately, it's not an SAR project, but it is to the American Revolution. But having attended as many congresses as we have, when we talk about meeting old friends and seeing folks that we knew, I guess there are only 2 or 3 members of the SAR who were there, who has attended more congresses than I have. But it is clearly worthwhile. And you say, well, all right, what if I came from, if I went to the Congress, what would I be able to do? We had a very good delegation from Texas, over 20 husbands and wives there, but we didn't get nearly all the delegates we could have had. Texas is the largest society. We can have the largest delegation, the largest number of voting delegates of any of the state societies, and we only probably had half as many slots filled as we have available. So if you were wanting to go to Congress, either in Connecticut or in New Orleans, or in, let's see, that year in between is going to be in Greensboro, North Carolina, which would be another great place too. You would really be able to participate and vote, hear the legislative items, and also vote on the national law through. So it's not something that you just strictly be an observer, you could actually be a participant. But there is, in conjunction with the Congress, side trips, all, I'm sure in North Carolina, it'll be Dean's Mountain, or be some of the other Calvins, or some of the other battles or historic sites in North Carolina. And of course, New Orleans, more than War of 1812, but it is really we're here in a good chapter, McKinney chapter. We are here in the state of Texas, the largest state societies. You can participate in our chapter, in our state, but we also can participate nationally in the National Congress. And I hope that many of you will say, I really want to do more. I really want to know more. I really want to participate more. And you have the opportunity with these congresses coming up. And as was mentioned, we put a bid in for several years in a row now for having to do another convention in San Antonio. But our time will come again, and everybody recognizes the importance of the Texas society. We had 2 of our members receive the Minuteman Award, which is the highest award. It can be given to a member of the SAR for national service. Bob Cohen and Gary Stevens, thank you. Both, and there can only can be 6 per year from the entire National Society, and we had 2 this year, which was exceptional. And we also had we have a lot of members who are really stalwarts in the state, in the society. 3 of us are past president general. Ed Butler and Tom Lawrence and I are all 3 former president general. So Texas is much, when you say you're from the Texas society, people realize that it's an outstanding society, more chapters, more members, more participation. Any questions? Thank you. Well, the line's on, you like it. Well, you're gonna be presenting, so it's probably works better this way. All right. So now I get to introduce one of my good friends here, John Anderson, and his lovely wife, Meg. She's a good friend too. John's hometown is Shreveport, Louisiana, and he has a large family in Nacogdoches Parish. Natchitoches. Harlem.
Sister Cindy.
Sure doesn't look like it's spelled like. Okay. It's difficult to talk about John without talking about his wife. He met Meg while attending LSU in Baton Rouge as an underclassman. They married in 1971. Meg has a large family in Southwest Mississippi and Central PA. And it says, oh yeah, go Tigers, right? Meg, all right, got that. After Meg graduated in 1973, John returned to school and graduated from Nice University in Lake Charles, Louisiana, in math and computer science. After John's graduation in 1977, they moved to South Bend, Indiana, and his career in analytical programming started. Both his sons, John and Steve, were born there. Desiring to relocate closer to home, John accepted a transfer to Texas in 1980, and they settled in Arlington and have been there ever since. Loving genealogy and patriotism, John joined the SAR in 2010 in the Major KM Van Zandt chapter in nearby Fort Worth, and soon learned an extremely small chapter in Arlington. So he joined the Arlington chapter as a dual member, and the next year switched his primary membership to Arlington. He quickly became the chapter registrar, supported by District 5 VP James Alderman, Patriots Ron Carter, David Frills, okay, and John Anderson led the revitalization of the Arlington membership. John retired in 2014, which gave him time to pursue more SAR interests. He was the Arlington chapter secretary and registrar for several years and received the Liberty Medal 4 times. Okay, so everybody know what the Liberty Medal is? That's getting new members, a certain number of new members into the SAR in a year period. Get that right, John?
Yeah.
Okay.
10 per medal.
10 per medal, yeah. Okay. His technology background led to his growth in Texas SAR state activities. Also in 2014, Patriot Ray Cox recruited him to support chapters with web issues. Soon after, John developed a chapter website template to which chapters could start and expand their own. And that's actually the website that we have today is the one that John developed. So, let's see. This chapter is one of 14 chapters with a website initiated from his chapter website template. He is the current Texas SAR Assistant Web Administrator under Ray Cox Lee. Since that time, John was the Arlington chapter president in 2016 and 2017. He led the grade marking dedications of 2 Texas SAR past presidents at the Arlington Cemetery in 2016. And again, another 2 Texas past presidents at Oakwood Cemetery in Corsicana, 2019. Some of you here may here today participated and supported John in those grave markings, and several grave markings have followed. John has been awarded several medals and certificates from the chapters and from the Texas SAR. He is a member of the class of 2019 Texas SAR Patriot Medal recipients. Okay, so the Patriot Medal is the highest honor the state can give to a compatriot for exemplary chapter and state activities. So, and I think we only get, how many did we give this past year? Was it six? Now, how many we got in Texas now?
I'll get to that.
You're gonna, he's gonna get to that. I never can keep up with the numbers. Fluctuates quite a bit. Okay. John stated that was one of his most prestigious. John has been the Texas SAR historian since the spring of 2019. He states he has not missed a Texas SAR convention or VOM since 2014. He also attended the 2019 SAR Congress in Houston. He enjoys assisting the Texas SAR any way he can and is considering the possibility of attending the next SAR Congress in Connecticut. John is a past president of the Arlington Genealogical Society. He is the current membership chairman and web administrator of the Arlington chapter and the current chapter historian and quartermaster of the major K.M. Van Zandt chapter. Okay, so everybody listen to this because this is going to be a really good presentation for him, and he knows what he's talking about the SAR. So at the end, be sure to ask him a lot of questions. And if he doesn't know it, Meg probably does.
I don't know. I can tell you about VAR.
Thank you for the kind words, but, yeah, you know, we all have history and that's part of mine. Meg's been with me every step. All right. Get rid of what we do. Move on. Okay, there we go. Everybody can see that.
Yes.
All right, you guys know who I am. I'm your Texas SAR historian. And I'm the chairman of the Archives History Yearbook Committee. And we meet regularly via Zoom, usually about 2 weeks prior to state meetings. So we can get our act together and be prepared for those state meetings. The next one is going to be Thursday evening in late October. It's going to be October the 17th, actually, at 7 p.m. And if anybody would like to attend that Zoom meeting, just send me an email and I'll be sure to include you in the Zoom invites. And then we will actually, those that can, go to the convention and be part of this convention. All right, everybody's welcome to attend our meetings. We don't hold a membership roster of the committee to a great extent. Just anybody that can would like to have. Or again, we have the subcommittees. We all work together and we break down into 3 main subcommittees. There's so much work to do, we have to break it down. I took over as the subcommittee chairman of the Archives Committee. And I've been there since the death of James Johnson. Now, everybody, most of you guys knew Jim. Jim was a wonderful guy. He passed away in January of 2022. And I took over the archives portion. That was at UNT. For history, I broke it down into multiple parts. There's just too much work to be done. We got the Baker Graves Committee, and that's headed by Bill Watts and David Hammerger. And that's compatriots and patriots graves. Marvin. For our notable Texas compatriots, John Greer is here tonight. He can tell you some of the things that we're working on, but compatriot Greer has been in subcommittee chair and in that position since 2020, but he has always been involved with research of our Texas SAR. He's just a wonderful asset. Kermit Breed helps him out some, and we got a new guy, James Penny, down in Alexander Hodge chapter, which is in Sugar Land. He's trying to help out on a few of the activities, but they have several projects and they're working together for several years. State president medals and Patriot Medal winners, veterans, all sorts of things. For the SAR history, we have a new history volume editor. I brought some of the old history volumes up front, and they are for sale. Unfortunately, we only have one hardback copy of History Volume 2 available. We have several. I got more than that at home. We have several History Volume 1s. But you guys should look at that after the meeting night. You may be interested in some of the things that Texas does for the SAR. For the editor, we have Matthew Hoffman. He's out of the Freedom chapter, which is, I believe, Conroe area, Woodlands area. And we're in the gathering phase, material to put in Texas History Volume 3. Volume 3 is the target of 2026 to coincide with America 250. We hope to have a history volume out at that time. For our yearbooks, we got Don Hayes. He's been the committee chairman now for 2 years. And sometimes Matthew Hoffman assists him. They're both in the same chapter. Okay, so to dig deeper into this, I'm going to start with the yearbooks committee because, well, they've got several things going on. So I'll talk about the yearbooks committee first. We only have a few chapters actually put together and construct a yearbook. And I say a few, 6 or 8 chapters, that's all that competes. Now, I think this chapter has competed in the past and has won in the past. And it's pretty, I'm not going to say it's easy, but a chapter yearbook is just that. Collect all your documents for a year, your photographs for a year, put it together in a scrapbook form, submit it for a yearbook. And we do judge them and we honor them with awards. This year, first place went to Ed Montero for the small chapter, under 50, for 50 to 100, 50 to 99 actually. First place went to Robert Rankin. That's a pretty large chapter down near Houston. And in group 3, the 100+ members, we actually had several chapters compete. First place went to the Piney Woods, second place went to Dallas, and third place went to Plano. That's the very large chapters. Okay. For the history subcommittee, that's chaired by Patriot Graves, again, is David Amaker and Bill Watts. Ted Wilson's done some fabulous work trying to collect and help them out in that area. There are some recent research into the Patriots that are buried in Texas. Now, you know, we have found 68 American Revolution veterans have actually found their way to Texas and are buried here, 68. That's a small number compared to the East Coast where they've got hundreds, thousands. We've got 68. And that number has changed recently and will probably change again in the future if we can find more. They are listed on our Texas website. Anybody that has public access, it's on our, you know, our website's divided into private and public. It's on the public side. You can get to it. Many of you know about the plans of a new large Texas monument down in Austin. That is a separate committee. That's not part of me at all. But they're gonna put these 68 and maybe some more of their cowboys that helped Galvez rustle the cattle to feed the troops back in Pennsylvania. But that's their committee, that's not mine. We have recently had 2 Patriot grave markings. Some of you guys helped attend that. One was in Maud, Texas, and the other one was in Clarksville. We try to get together on those as quickly as we identify them. For the notable Texas compatriots, now that again, that's chaired by John Greer. And he has Kermit Reed assisting and James Penny occasionally. From 1896 to 2024, that's 128 years of Texas Society presence. Among with is Judge White here. So that's a count of 107 presidents today. Some are buried in Texas and some are not. If they're buried in Texas, we want to mark their grave and honor them appropriately. We do have 231 Texas SAR Patriot Medal winners. Tom talked about the Patriot Medal winners. We have 231, and that number increases by 6 or 5, depending on our roster, state roster size. Every year, those are elected, and I believe now it's the time to submit your submissions to the chairman of that committee for next year's Patriot Medal winners. We can honor or recognize lots of SAR groups. John Greer, he's gathering information on good citizenship medals, SAR presidents, SAR color guard members, politicians, businessmen. You know, a notable compatriot. Well, I think we're all notable in some way. So we've all done something that we think is special or is special. And John is researching and trying to get at that. We have notable Texas SAR officers, distinguished medal winners, good citizenship, color guard veterans, and lots more. The past SAR presidents, well, John has a spreadsheet. Leslie Anderson helped on some of that, but he has a spreadsheet that's got columns. It's got probably 24 columns on that spreadsheet of where they're buried, when they were buried, has it been marked, has it not been marked, all kinds of stuff. He is on top of it, and all of our Texas patriots. He could probably list them to you in order by memory. I've seen him give presentations on that at Fort Worth. He knows it by heart. Compatriot markers are available at the store. Bill Watts has come up with a more economical patriot marker that's really outstanding. So congratulations to Bill Watts for that. For history, you know, the history is the knowledge and retention of things that has happened in the past. So therefore, our committee strives not to lose our history, but to keep it. Preservation of history is our big goal. That's our purpose. We strive to preserve history by recording it in several ways. And I encourage all chapters to create a Texas historic position. Don't y'all have a historian? Is that you, Tom? Who's the chapter?
Maybe by default, I'm not sure.
Okay, well, I encourage every chapter to have a historian. Many can contribute, but every chapter needs that historian. The minutes, newsletters, yearbooks, photos, all those count as for the preservation of history. Do y'all have a chapter history? Has that been written? Your chapter history is what, 20 years old, founded by Judge White there. He's one that encouraged it. Do y'all have a written chapter? That's a question.
I don't think so.
Okay, well, maybe somebody can do that. Please get it to me. We want to put your chapter history in that next history volume.
And
You know,
I don't think they did.
did the stuff from Cecil, he didn't give you a chapter?
Oh, I've got it. Yeah, I've got everything from Cecil.
Well,
It's
I'm
not already.
encouraging you to dig through it and find your history,
Go back to
get it written
2002, I think.
with pictures if possible.
A lot of pictures.
Okay. So, and I broke down the history into two parts, long-term and short-term. For short-term, I'm keeping stuff on things like Google Docs and, Dropbox, those types of, what do you call it, online storage facilities. For long-term, we're gonna talk about the archives committee. But, for short-term, everybody's got documents. Okay, for the archives committee, most of you know that in the spring of 2023, UNT suspended future donations. I've been involved with the SAR since 2014. 2011 it actually is when my first paper come through, but in 2014 I learned of UNT. And I thought that was a wonderful facility. We had a wonderful thing going. We had an archive capabilities that fit our need. Many state documents were there. They scanned and put up 2,900 documents online, but there's more documents than that. We had a great plan, it was working. But they claimed it was economic reasons. I think it was more reasons than that, but they claimed they had to shut it down because they couldn't afford the staff to do the scanning, do the digitization, to build the indexes. So they quit, not only for us, but for some other people. I'm gonna run over this.
Okay.
So we had to put together a team of what we're gonna do next, and luckily, we got two compatriots here in Texas that are professional archivists that knew how to handle this and could help us guide the way. Jason Bourgeois from the San Antonio chapter, he was of a small university, I think it was St. Mary's, but I'm not certain, in San Antonio. He's the archivist there. And I understand this summer he is transferred to Ohio, so he's no longer available. But he helped tremendous on our new plan. Along with him was Eric Christian from the Corpus Christi chapter. And so we had those two professional archivists and myself, who will have always been involved in history like most of us are. And we gathered together Ray Cox. Ray Cox just does everything, anything we need done. He's out of the Piney Woods chapter and handles mostly anything to do with the Texas SAR websites, those server type things, issues that he goes through. So we had many discussions on how to handle and examine and preserve our history. Examples are, most importantly, to preserve our history is the education of youth. We've got to pass our history down to the youth for them to learn from it. I mean, that's a given. But we also create various papers to go along with that, yearbooks, scrapbooks, some videos and some pictures. Our history volumes there preserve our Texas history. I have some older volumes for you to examine there on the table, and let me know if you have some interest. So thereafter, these discussions of what to do with our professional archivists, we had discussions towards what's the feasibility and economical capability of the Texas SAR. And Ray Cox spoke up and he said, with chapter assistance, we can archive it ourselves. PDFs online. If we go pure digital, Ray suggested we can collect it and do it ourselves. Well, right off, we had issues we had to work through. Mainly public versus private. Well, some documents have names and addresses and emails and phone numbers and those types of things. We want to keep them private, at least until past or until we're past. And then we have lots of public documents. And those can be state documents like state minutes, not financial records, not put financial records online. But we have a lot of state documents that can be placed online. The examples of our Texas papers that are buried here in Texas, that's a public list. That's preservation district. So we had the issues of what to put online, what to make public, what to make private. And Ray says he can handle it. So we already have a login on the private side. We can put the private documents on the private side there. Login capability, only us can get to it. And that seems suitable. So the plans were to go all online. And I put together an instruction document and I gave one to Kerry Barnett. Where's he at? I don't see him. There he is back. So I gave a document to you, and that's to help you preserve our Texas history. So these chapter documents, and only your chapter documents, we have the capability. You can put those under, just like your newsletters and minutes, we can put them online. And then your private documents, that document that I gave you, will show you how to get to that and do that. And you and I can talk in more detail later. But so we've devised an online system, pure digital, for archiving in the future. What do y'all think about that? Pure digital, that way it's no cost. We already have a server. We were paying UNT $5 grand a year for them to scan documents. We don't have to pay that anymore. Now, we may need some of that money for ourselves when if we talk about backlogs and how we're going to try to come up to date, but we'll get to that. But the concept is simple. The Texas server already contains chapter websites. We can easily expand to include Texas SAR public and private archives. PDFs are the key. We can keep your documents in secure places on the website. For chapters with web admins, that should be a no-brainer. Go do it. For chapters without web admins, then our committee is going to have to pick up the slack and archive those documents that come around. So we all know about the preservation of our Texas society history is very important. And we're getting better and better to preserve our Texas society history at both the state level and at the chapter level. Our Texas society presidents, past and present, have encouraged us to recognize those who have significantly contributed towards our committees. Now, let me say that again. Our Texas SAR presidents, namely the last three, have encouraged me and other chairmen of various chapters throughout the state to recognize you for the work that y'all done. Now, you get those awards if you go to the state BOMs and the state meetings. But they said that I could award folks as I needed to. So therefore, to encourage the preservation of American history, I have created on my own the Texas Society SAR Historian Honor Award. And I see faces in the crowd tonight that I've already gave that award to. Thank you guys for preserving our Texas history. This award is not an SAR. It's a Texas SAR. and it's exclusively awarded by our committee chairs. It is awarded to only those who have significantly demonstrated the preservation of Texas history. Recipients are encouraged by me, the Texas SAR Historian, and to honor former compatriot efforts in preserving our Texas history. Here's an example of the award. It states the Texas SAR Society, the Texas Society SAR Historian Honor Award is proudly presented to a Texas compatriot in recognition and in sincere appreciation of his endless and contributions, valuable service as a dedicated compatriot of the Texas Society of the American Revolution. It is not a national award, it's a Texas award, and it comes with a real seal. And, we'll leave it at that. I forgot something. Reviewing this award, I find that there are several compatriots in this chapter that have not yet been recognized. So I ask the following folks to please join me up front. Well, Cecil Cole's not here, but I wish he was. I've got an award for him. Tom Nelson, would you join me? Compatriot Blythe Huber, would you join me? Kerry Barnett, would you join me? And Ted Wilson, I'm glad to see you tonight. I wasn't expecting you, but you're here. Please come up.
Did somebody get the lights? Thanks, Pete.
Tom has been a member since 2018. He was your chapter president. And he has archived several documents and he develops, annually develops your annual yearbook if it's possible. He's involved with several chapter committees. Thank you, Tom, for preserving our Texas history. Kerry Barnett, he's been a member since 2018. He is your current chapter web administrator and your new chapter newsletter. You're involved in that in some way.
Yes, sir.
He's involved with several committees. Thank you for preserving our Texas history. Blas, where are you there? Blas has been a member since 2019. He is your video recorder guy, is that right? And has placed them on many websites. That's right. Okay, and YouTube channels?
Yes.
Wow. As a chapter secretary, are you involved in that? Chapter secretary? Yes. He records your chapter minutes and elaborates with various photos. I've read your chapter newsletter and saying that. He's involved in several committees. Thank you for preserving our Texas history. And I'm glad to see Ted up here because I missed him months ago back in Sherman. But he has been a member since 2014. He's a past president of the Edmond Herald chapter. He's researched that chapter history very well, and he's worked on Texas compatriots buried here in Texas over and over again. And talked to me tonight about expanding it even again. So thank you for preserving our Texas history. So I say thanks to all you guys, and I have certificates to support all of that. For you, thank you for serving our day. Here. Thank you for serving our history lives. Thank you for serving our history. And Ted. Thank y'all tonight for having me. Are there any questions? You do. Okay. All right. Are there any questions?
I want to ask, how many of you have been on the website lately?
Which one?
The Texas website.
Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just look to see what's out there.
Yeah.
How many of you have discovered the section talking about the guys who wrote our Constitution? Get to go look. It's out there.
You talking about the Texas Constitution?
No, the US Constitution.
It's on the.
It's on the website.
Alright.
So it's something to go look at and read.
There he is. Anything else? But I thank y'all for having me.
Okay. Wait, I'm going to. Okay. This thing's supposed to now we got.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got it. We only got this fancy folder with one shipment. And then I went out back on the website and I have not been able to find this again. So there's some secret there. I guess I need to call them up and ask them what do you have to do to get this. But anyway, so I'll put this in this thing. So anyway, so I have a certificate of appreciation for you, John. This is just a very minor thing to give you. I wish we could give you more. He's definitely a friend of this chapter, and I don't know. I don't know when you say they agree. It says they are. Thank you so much. Yeah.
All right, I'm not sure where the microphone is. Thank you, John, so much for coming tonight and again, echoing what John has said, we have our executive meeting every 2 weeks and talk with Laws and Carrie about their efforts with the minutes and the newsletter. And it's a lot of work, and we're very appreciative. And in speaking about the newsletter, we started that more recently. Carrie and Tom have been working on that, and we're always looking for contributions. And each one of us has something that could be added there as to what the SAR means to you, why you think it's helpful to our community, to our veterans, things like that. And if you could shoot Carrie an email, he'd welcome that. So thank you. Okay, now for any announcements or old business. And I turn over to the floor if anybody has any old business they'd like to address or announcements. All right, our next meeting will be September the 19th, 2024, and we will cover the African Americans in the Revolutionary War. And my guess is that I know since I've been at this chapter, I haven't heard that topic before, but there were a lot of African Americans who served in the Revolutionary War in many different facets, and I'm sure it'll be a wonderful and interesting presentation. Tom,
Yeah.
the person who's presenting that.
Oh no, you're under Tom. Nope. Do you want? I can't remember his name. What do you mean? He's in your chapter. Never mind.
I know
We're both struggling.
he recently presented in Dallas, right?
Yes, you did. That's where I heard. Yes, okay.
He did the wish.
No, doctor.
Sorry, John Boyd.
What was it?
John Boyd.
Yeah. Hey, guys, don't miss this. It's quite good. He's researching. No, that's not that. It's Bush. Bush is it? Randy Bush.
He's from Atlanta.
Oh, yeah, Randy Bush.
Randy Bush. Okay. So
That's the next one. Yeah.
So it should be a wonderful presentation. I'm sure that we'll all learn something.
Yeah.
And that is September the 19th. The upcoming events on the back cover of our program, September 12th and October 20th will be recruitment for the SAR at the State Fair of Texas. And Bill Watts, you can email Bill about that. Additionally, on October the 12th, which is a meeting with the SAR, I believe it's a Saturday. Am I correct in that, Tom?
Yeah, DAR.
Oh, DR, I'm sorry, the DAR joint meeting. That's at the Methodist Church in downtown McKinney for a joint meeting. They've invited us down there. If you can show up, it'd be wonderful. Show up there at a joint meeting.
We'll be taking names, guys.
When will that take the place of our regular October meeting?
That will not.
No, sir.
We'll have a regular October meeting on the third Thursday in October. Then November the 1st through the 3rd is the Fall Board of Managers meeting. That's at the Holiday Inn in downtown Austin. So if you can go to that, please sign up. It should be. Additionally, November the 9th, Color Guard National Event, Field of Honor at the Red Tail Pavilion at Oak Point Park in Plano. And Bill Watts again, if you can contact him concerning that. And then also Veterans Day is November the 16th, concerning another Color Guard event at the Red Tail Pavilion, Oak Point Park in Plano. And Bill Watts for more details concerning that. Anyone from the floor have any additional upcoming events? All right, hopefully you've had an opportunity to review the July minutes that are on the website. This time I have any motions concerning the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
Second, Dick Tom, and second by Mr. Van Fossen. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Peter Ford, our treasurer.
Sir. All right, here's tonight's report of August 15th, 2024. So the funds at our last meeting in July were $955.35. This month, our expenses were $117.84 for registrar memberships for ancestry.com and newspapers.com. This month's income consisted of $46.50 from the Texas State SAR for membership dues to the chapter. Our chapter funds are currently at $884.01. We do have our certificate of deposit, which contains $5,117.81, which will it's currently earning 4% interest rate. Does anybody have any questions? Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. Any other business or announcements from the floor? Yes, sir, Pete.
I just wanted to know, everybody to know that as a CAR liaison, I'm gonna be attending a meeting this Saturday, which for the Matthew Bolton Society CAR, and they are gonna be celebrating their 20th anniversary of Jeff. And then next month, the Matthew Bolton CAR chapter is gonna be working on a service project where they're gonna be packing meals for underprivileged individuals. So just wanted to let everybody feel.
Thank you. Thanks, Peter.
Yes, sir.
Just one comment or observation for your guys' next managers meeting. When I was looking at the list of officers, I noticed there's no email addresses, and I thought, well, that'd be handy to have on here. But a better idea, I think, would be one of those little squares that takes you to the link to your chapter website, because all your email address is probably on there anyway. Yeah. Something like that might be handy, and I was gonna recommend that to my own chapter too.
Yes.
Yeah, we can just see our code.
Okay, just a thought.
No, thank you. Yeah, we welcome anything. Absolutely. Absolutely. Anything else from the floor? Yes, sir.
I just wanted to state that I read y'all's newsletter that Tom forwarded it to me just earlier this week. And on the first or second page, there was a big blue link to your chapter minutes. Is that what you're talking about, a QR code?
No, you know, like the QR code, that funny little.
I know what a code is, but are you saying that will replace that link?
No, I thought he was just saying.
On this paper.
Oh, okay.
Back
Well, anyway, I thought that link to your chapter minutes from your chapter newsletter was outstanding. I think that's a great concept, and other chapters should try to use that. That's a new thought.
Great, thank you.
So I might mention too, since we're talking about preserving history, that newsletter that I'm sure everyone has read by now. So that newsletter, basically the president of the Denton chapter has written an article regarding basically the opportunity we have to basically provide history for our patriots. And basically it's a way of submitting information you know about your patriot. That needs to be factual, not a whole lot of, right? But anyway, but basically, and you can put it, basically, you can submit it to national, okay? And when you do that, and we're not talking about multiple pages, but at least a history paragraphs of what we know. And then they basically be reviewed national, and when it's reviewed, then they will put it up, basically a link to that Patriots number that's on national, so that you can basically document for historical purposes your patriot, or if you have supplementals, your patriot. So at least from my perspective, I've done that some time ago for my first one. I haven't done it for my supplementals yet, but for me, I think if you really want to do something to say, well, I want to make sure that this guy is remembered long after we're gone, that's the way to do it, okay? So I would encourage you, it doesn't have to be a whole lot, just talk about, a little, usually a little more than what you get, in your record copy, okay? So please look at that. And again, you got a good guy there, by the way, new chapter, they have a new chapter president. He's a Brendan Short. Yeah, really great guy. He's really hard at it. He wrote this article. I was quite impressed, and I asked him if I could put it on mine. And he said yes. So any of the other chapters represented here, he probably would say yes if you asked him, but I did ask him permission to put it on. You might look at that one too.
Yes.
Any of y'all are coming to the state fair this year, come down to DAR house. We volunteer, we have SAR members that we are invited to volunteer to talk about the SAR and get new members. And then usually we'll have about 70 new members every year from the DAR house. And we will also be presenting the Vietnam lapel pins to both the veterans that served from 55 to 75 and to spouses that husbands have passed away. Their relatives found them. And the reason they get so many people to come into the DAR house, they sell water for $1. You can't find anything else on the fairground for $1.
Thanks, John.
Back on the newsletter, if you click on the YouTube symbol on the newsletter, it should take you to the our YouTube channel.
Excellent. Anything else? Okay, if you please stand for the benediction.
Let us pray. The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God the Father, and the fellowship of the Holy Ghost be with us now and forevermore. Amen.
Amen. If you please join me in our recession. Until we meet again.
Let us remember our obligations to our forefathers, who gave us our Constitution, a bill of rights, and an independence spring forward, and a nation of free men.
We're adjourned.